It's okay, gonna be alright. I pray for every broken heart tonight. While you sleep, even when you rise, know that God's still.
Competition, as important as it is, it's knowing, like I said, we go back to the W's. Know when to compete and where to compete and who you want to compete with. How you compete also matters. If your competition is obviously to get the praise that, oh, I can do this as well, they will sing your praise for a while.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're competing to bring out the best in the people
other,
that are...
like Pepsi and Coca-Cola.
Oh my God, those guys bring out the best in each other, man. Like, it's just...
Apple and Samsung.
As we are calling your name, just feel free to reach out and sponsor the Unboxed Podcast.
True talk.
Did I say, is it
Hi.
Unboxed?
Behave yourself.
Sorry.
You're alive. I'm not cutting this part out.
No. So, actually, is the Unboxed Podcast.
So, moving on. You have dealt with clients before. And also, you could feel free to cite cases in relationships.
Hey.
Expectations versus reality.
Too much expectation. It's funny you mentioned that because me and my friends a while, but I think this was when end of 2020, we just gathered guys that play instruments. I had Boye, I had Jones the Conboy.
Boye.
Yeah, you know Boye. A lot of Rex. I had a lot of guys. We were just jamming, and we just started singing about expectations because those are
That's another thing I love about you. You write lyrics on the spot. I don't want to put you on the spot now to just maybe
I can't even. My sister I cannot. See, when you have been awake, for those of you that sleep, I'm very happy for you. For those of me that doesn't sleep. No, but expectations has defined a lot of things. It has defined relationships. It has caused relationships to end. It has caused...
Both client and personal.
Businesses to end. You expect your client to follow through on their part of the bargain, and they don't come through. What happens? I get pissed off. I have all the files. I press delete. You come to me, but I haven't done that. I'll just save it because auntie.
Never know. It's a lot of work.
Igboro is lay.
How do you feel about Canva? I had to ask. And there's a new one coming out by Microsoft called Designer.
Yeah.
How do you feel about AI taking design times 1 billion?
It's, in all honesty, I'm still going to go back to my W's. People should know when and where to use those things.
I'm soon going to call you Mr. W.
There's Banky already, so don't W me. So basically, now clients will take a shortcut of saying, oh, AI can do it, so I'll pay you less. But will AI listen to and understand what you're trying?
Does AI have emotions?
You can type it in. Now everybody goes chat GPT. Okay, fantastic. It does its work. But the truth of the matter is there is still need for the human element.
Got you.
AI is great. Like, I use design resources as well. But here's the thing. It's other designers that have done those resources, uploaded them on a platform, and I support that platform. You subscribe to it. You help other designers and other people to have a living. Now, for the people that are designing or creating these applications, what's their end goal? So now, before I could, let's say someone comes to you and say, oh, I want to design a logo. I'm like, you're not just designing a logo, you're designing a brand identity. So let's talk about your brand identity. Will AI do that for you? Well, I might say this, and next thing you know, you'll see, and they'll create an AI that will do that. That
solves that problem.
So, I mean, for me, I'm not a fan of these things. I'm not saying they can't be used as tools, but then you can't actually replace someone's. I mean, you can't replace it. It's like that means soon they'll start replacing human beings with different things. Like, oh, you don't have friends. there's an AI app that can be your friend. You know?
Lord.
It's, I don't know. No, but I'm not a... oh, God, this Canva thing. Oh, God. Oh, man.
Canva has been saving lives since when it was created.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
It's a quick fix.
But
and I think
if you look at the other design softwares that are that were built for doing this, that don't have like you don't have to do it online, blah blah blah. Those guys are still around till today.
True.
I learned how to use CorelDRAW. That was the first one. No, Microsoft Word. I started designing for Microsoft Word.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're an oldie.
But a goldie. Hey, not a digger though. Garrett.
Come on.
So I moved on from Microsoft. It was the basic knowledge of Microsoft Word. I learned CorelDRAW. And because of cultural shifts, I had to get on the Adobe wagon.
Yeah.
You learn the Photoshop, the Illustrator, the InDesign. Now there's XD, there's all the Ds, all the abbreviations, they have all of it, you know. And then you now have, there's this gold mine. I love this one. This one, at some point, CorelDRAW was about to become obsolete, but because certain cultures still use it, certain places, they still value it. So it's still, I would always suggest it, because for me as a designer, I want flexibility. There are certain things I can do on Photoshop that I can't do with CorelDRAW. And there are certain freedoms that CorelDRAW gives me that makes me go back to it. Now, I was looking for, how do I get CorelDRAW? And then Affinity Design comes out, solves my problem.
Wow.
Affinity Design blended everything. It blended Photoshop, CorelDRAW, it blended it in. And it still gives you the freedom. As a designer, one of the things that we love is freedom to do anything. Yes. So with Canva and everything, listen, like I said, there are tools that are great to help you. But when people start comparing Canva to someone that spent money in school to learn this thing, even if they didn't spend money, they spent time to learn this thing, and then you come to them and insult them by saying, I can give you X amount because I can do it on Canva. My dear lady and gentlemen, please find your way to www.canva.com and do that. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
So I'm a strong believer in entry-level learn tools.
Yeah.
Mid-level learn techniques, frameworks, processes. When you become an experienced person, master people. That's it. It's how it works, because as you grow up the ladder, it's people that is your...
Yeah.
That's people are the product.
Because the business is people, actually.
Yeah, it's people. So you see a lot of these tools, they don't really solve or meet the needs of people. The tools come in to solve problems, but not necessarily people. People meet the needs of people. In project management, we actually talk about it. Project management
you just had to slide that in. Come on.
It's natural.
It's natural, yes.
Project management is about people more than whatever it is that you are trying to get at the end of it. It's about people collaborating, managing, directing, all that.
So basically, it's like a HR type of situation, because HR also manages people.
We plug project management into everything now. There's project management in HR.
So what app are people using for project management?
Oh, they have tools for project management.
No app, no Canva. People don't have a Canva that's...
We have tools. Okay. But the tools are to help us be more efficient.
Not to...
We can't be replaced, sorry. Yeah.
How much is projects?
People here, anyway.
Projects.
Google it after the show. No, but most people are natural project managers. They just don't know. You work, as a brand designer, you already work in projects. You talk to clients. Communication is key to your the skill sets that you require. resolving conflicts
Oh,
is part of it.
it's the
Using
biggest part.
resources, budgeting,
Yeah,
all these things add
Right.
to what project manager
management
is.
is, yeah.
But the key skill I've learned over time with project management is the ability to resolve conflicts, manage resources, and people. And people are resources. So
And
if you
it's-
can't manage people, then you struggle.
I mean, to be honest, I've had clients that in the beginning they're like, we don't know what we want to do. Can you help us?
And then you come up
you
with-
do your part. Then they start telling you, this is not what I want.
Did you specify?
Please go ahead. It's
That's
like
what-
you've been there.
Let's talk
Exactly.
about this, and that speaks to expectation.
Right.
If it's not defined, and I tell creatives these days, project manager. This is how project manager. You have a scope document.
Right.
You sign off the scope document
Yes.
before you get going. Anything outside the scope,
Yep.
we're not doing it.
Right.
We didn't budget for that.
Which
If you're
is-
going to add anything, we have to sit down
And
and
test it. Yeah.
reevaluate the scope,
Scope of everything.
and the budget.
Right.
And it's called change management, but I don't want to get too technical. But this thing is a real problem. Like, people just keep adding things. They see something and like, oh, I want it to be like this. Can you add this one and add this one and let it be like this one and this one and this one, and then
And then they'll not be like, you see, as this guy did his own website,
yeah,
yeah, go and
just
do it
like that. And then you do it like that, and you're like,
You could have told me that from the beginning, and I would have known what to
don't
do.
have wasted
but
your creative
At
juice.
the end of the day, it is what it is.
They say the client is always right.
Really?
So, Austin,
Yeah.
why do people tie their identity and self-worth to their job, their talent, or whatever it is that they own? Especially guys.
All right. For guys, because society has given us a role of being in front, of being leaders, of being providers, yes, a lot of self-worth. And if you put guys together, we don't care about that. I'm sure you've seen videos
No,
on the internet.
I
Hold
don't
on.
agree.
Let me finish. I'm sure you've seen videos on the internet where they'll be like, I wonder what he's doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Him and the boys, they're probably doing something simple. They're just having fun. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of us guys, we're not wired that way. Yes, we are. But you should also, the next question should be, why do you think we are wired that way? It's because of women's.
It's women that make you feel like you should tie your self-worth to
All right.
what you own.
It's okay. You think I'm lying?
This is
What's the
wait,
problem
Austin,
of the world?
Wait, this is what Adam did in Genesis, pushing responsibility. Let's talk
now,
about it.
it's different now. If you're talking about, you said what makes.
Yeah,
The thing is, you didn't say why.
I actually said why.
Is it
I said why do? Yeah, why?
Why?
Do? Yeah.
Okay, the reason, and I've given you the reason. Now you see what you've done. You've now said I'm doing an Adam move.
Yeah, because you're blaming the woman for what men
Okay,
do.
so I gave you an iteration. I gave you an example of what guys do when we are together without external
So
influences.
you mean that guys don't brag about things that they own to their fellow guys?
It's
Say-
not something they want to do, but they do. Yes.
Why do they do it? Women are not even there. So how is it a
They
woman's fault?
do it. Obviously, yes. It's they do it, right? And the reason why they do it is because there's a woman that they're obviously telling a fellow guy about that. There's this girl that I'm doing this. I have this, so they brag. And let's even put it into perspective and say there's a particular guy amongst them, and they both like the same chick. Blah 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 blah. He wants to put the other guy down. The only way to do it is to let him know this is what I control.
Got you.
You know, that's
And if
it.
he loses it,
If he loses that thing, of course
he loses himself.
He loses himself because his whole worth is tied to what I do, how much I earn, where I live, what I drive. You know, those are the wrong things to anchor yourself on. And I'm not just talking as a guy, but as a human being entirely. You know, I mentioned something about knowing who you are. Can you be anything you want to be. Yes, you can. But the only way to be that end product is knowing, what can I do? If I come to Tobi, I'll be like, what can Tobi help me with? I know exactly. And once I come to you, I know what I'm going to get out of it. Now, if I don't know that, and that's only possible because you know what you carry.
Got you.
If the person doesn't know what they carry, they now need external influences to validate who they are.
True.
Like
so would you say that you're self-aware and you're secure in who you are?
My sister, I have been in meetings or tables where these people are controlling things. They are busy.
It doesn't bother you.
Bragging to themselves, and I'm like, when you're done, let me know. But when the opportunity comes for me to speak, I just say my mind, and then they're like, oh, how come? I'm like, because you guys are measuring whatever. I'm just here to get the job done. Results. Now they tie, okay, like, you know what? I always say this, and even in relationships, and I said, take away certain things, what do you have left?
Yeah.
If you take away the job, are you still someone wants to hang out with?
Got you.
Take away the husband that you brag about. When something happens to that husband of yours, what are you? Who are you? Where will you be in the equation of things? So for me, I try as much as possible, and I learned this a very long time ago, to detach yourselves from these things. I'm not saying they're not important. My sister, they are very important, but you don't let them define who you are, because who you are is far greater than whatever
that your
job, the work you do. It's funny you mentioned job or whatever. I was listening to an old taping of Miles Monroe, and it says your job is not your work.
Absolutely.
You know, so that also helps me put things into perspective. You know, like, it's great to have these things. It's great to have a good job. It's great to have a good career. No one is saying they're wrong. But when that is the only thing you have.
And you know, the sad part about it is your employer would only pay you according to the value they've defined. That you add to them, not the value that you are.
Okay, so remember the start of the question is, why do men
attach identity and self-worth?
Now, I'll throw the question back to you. Why do women do that to themselves and then project it onto men?
Why do women attach identity?
Yeah, because now, for the woman, you now have to add being attractive,
looking good,
blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Carrying certain types of bags and looking a certain type of way. I think it's just the perception that they believe that's what men want. I wouldn't say that's what men want, but they believe that if I carry myself or look in a certain type of way, I would make the world or men perceive me as classy, diva, chic. What? All the words they use these days, Bella and all that.
Really?
My brother.
We need to cash up.
Even I am trying to, but it's. I think it's an unnecessary pressure that people put on themselves, especially if that's not who you are. You know me well enough. If I had my way, I wear t-shirt in every episode of this.
Honestly, this one.
Every episode, I will wear a t-shirt and a face cap.
It's true.
But
Tobi on our wedding day, she still wear trainers.
You just have to tell them. Yeah, I wore trainers on my wedding day. The dress was already heavy.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. I should make my feet comfortable.
She was like, I want anybody to buy my binu.
I cannot come and kill myself.
Yes.
But there are people that portray themselves not as necessarily as who they are, but who
they expect people.
Perception. You should look like this, and because if you look like this, people would think you're expensive.
And now, you know what? It now brings the question: who defines who you are? You know,
Fantastic.
a lot of people are like, "Oh, I love the fashion that is out now." Somebody just decided that, you know what? I want to do this. They put it out there. They have a platform. They throw it out, and you.
I hear that a lot. This is in season.
Exactly.
All sorts of name of colors, by the way. They're in season. Yeah, I hear onion brown and tomato red.
Tomato is red normally.
No, there's a tomato red, and there's blood red, and there's onion purple, I think.
Yeah, there is.
And there's aqua blue.
It's Babalawo green. There's Babalawo green
And
that you've
mint
not.
green.
There's Babalawo green. That's
Oh
the.
Lord! But jokes apart, you asked the valid question: who determines?
Who determines it? And I also pose the same questions with people that I know. I'm like, you know, in relationship, they says, oh, you know, we don't really know each other that well. I need this amount of time to know you. How long does it take to actually know a person? Why do you want to know me? When you do know me, what do you want to use that information for?
Are we heading in the same direction?
My answer would always be, you will never know me completely. You will know certain aspects of me that definitely, you know, and the thing is,
we're ever evolving anyway.
Exactly. So you can't stop. So the problem that we have also is people stop trying to know themselves. And to answer the question, that is why a lot of people tie their self-worth to the work they do, to the cars they drive, to the houses they live in, to the caliber of friends they have. They type like, oh, this is my world, when you are infinite.
And then one day you lose.
You lose once you lose one of those things,
you start to break down.
I see the one person, the one character that we know that everybody points to is Job.
Yeah.
That question you asked, Job answers it. Everything that made him, he was the talk of the town, the richest man then.
People went to him for advice.
Most beautiful kids, the most beautiful wife, livestock, wealthy. But and here's the sweet thing. Those things didn't leave all at once. They had to go, okay, let's take this. Let's affect this so that this will be affected.
Yeah, but it became a chain in a very short period of time.
Yeah, he lost it all. And the Bible says that he didn't
cause God.
If I want to shake table now, I will say something. Forget. Job and Dust too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he did say a lot of things, and God replied him.
That's why I say, wait. So the question, where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? That question, as a Igbo, where, as a in
Do you
Yoruba,
think you are? Do you know who I am? Oh Lord.
Oh God. You know, so it's like that. So, but using Job, I think it's like for people that love scriptural references, they can attest to the fact that this guy had everything taken from him, but at least he had something that he held on to. He had someone that he held on to. You know, so for me, I try not to generalize. And if I would ever give an example, I always like to use myself. You know, because I don't know what the next guy has been through. And it would be wrong for the next guy to think he knows what I've been through when no, bro, you don't know. Right? So what I tried, like I said, I detach myself from these things. In as much as these things are important, I don't want those things to define who I am. When they say, I want a situation where when they call my name and they say, Awestyne is coming, everybody's like, okay, we're going to have a good time. This guy is coming. He's not going to come and bore us with, oh, I just bought the latest. If you have, it's fine. But that shouldn't be the only thing you bring. People get tired. And people, like you said, people are the worst.
Absolutely. And there's the saying that says people don't remember what you say. They won't remember what you have. They only remember how you treat them.
Right.
So
exactly.
We should put our values in check and ensure that we prioritize people over things.
And it's I know they say it's important to just be kind. Kindness goes a long way. You You know, it's some say, oh, if you're kind, they step all over you. Let that person do that. They're the ones losing a valuable person, friend, business, or whatever. That's how it is. All right, Tobi,
All
I'm
right,
going to
awesome.
go.
You're going where?
I'm going.
You will not let me close the.
Oh, yeah, close. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that had the opportunity of watching the show, I'm going to, on behalf of Tobi, I am closing the show. Thank you for joining us on the Unboxed Podcast with Tobi. My name is Awestyne. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till we meet again. Am I all right? Am I all right? It's all going to be good.